Well, you mentioned the numbers. He obviously filled the stat sheet. But I'm judging him by MVP standards, which we all predicted. Best player in the world standards, which he is, but didn't look like last night. So I give him a C+. Mainly because of the turnovers in the second half. 5 of his 6 were in the second half. You mentioned the 3 earlier in the fourth quarter. He had 2 in the third quarter, and they were big. He only scored 8 points in the second half. So what I saw when I'm watching that game in the first half, I was like, I can't recall when the last time I saw an NBA team play at that pace.
Right. I agree.
And I was sitting there thinking, can LeBron keep this up for the game, let alone 82 games?
That is true.
And what I think happened to him is in the second half, now he didn't look fatigued. I didn't see him huffing and puffing, but I think either he dialed it back because he was like, I can't get at this place. Because throughout his career, he's never played on fast-paced teams. No. They're always in the middle of the road. Even Miami, we picture him and Wade with the fast breaks. They were in the middle of the road, in terms of pace and fast break points. Here's how fast their pace was. Last night, they had 34 fast break points. Last year, they were second in the league in fast break points, 17 a game. So they doubled that, and they were second in the league. Golden State led the league last year with 19 fast break points a game. Pace-wise, their pace last night was 113. New Orleans led the league last year in pace, 101. So they were, I mean, I think
that's not unrealistic.
First of all, like I said, LeBron's never played at that pace. Number 2, he's 33, and he's in his 16th year. And I think physically, like I said, he either dialed it back or was fatigued. That's why he only scored 8 points. And I even think it got to him mentally, just because he was maybe tired, because obviously we've seen him make turnovers. But I don't see LeBron make a ton of ill-advised passes. And I thought some of those last night were just downright ill-advised. The Lonzo alley-oop attempt was telegraphed.
It was a bad idea.
Yeah. So I give him a C+. And they're going to have to figure this out, this pace thing. I don't know if they're going to have to be almost 2 separate teams, but I don't think LeBron or even they can play at that pace consistently.
No. I gave him a B, and I gave him a B for a lot of reasons you did. The turnovers. The third quarter, you guys were disappointed in the fourth quarter. I was disappointed in the third quarter because he only took 1 shot. It was a 3-pointer, had the 2 turnovers, nothing. So he really didn't do anything, and I thought that was I thought that was an opportunity for him to get the team back into it. And they made a late run of the ball game, Skip. And I think for him, I think he didn't take that game over on purpose, Skip, because he doesn't want to start. He was like, look, guys, I'm going to need you. I know what I'm capable of. I want to find out who I can ride with and who I can count on down the stretch, because they're still trying to figure this out. The lineup that started last night, I'm not so sure that's the lineup that's going to be starting in game 10 or game 15 or game 20.
Yeah.
But he was LeBron. What other guy? There are only a handful of guys that wouldn't take 26, 12, and 6 on a nightly basis. But as you said, when you're talking about LeBron James, he can get that in his sleep. The question is, as you mentioned, Steve, pace. No, nobody's running. I don't care LeBron at 26. You're not keeping that pace up. No. Not for 82 games. No. That's not going to happen. That's the way they played in the 80s when they had 156, 153. Those type of games. But I gave him a B. I know he can play better. I know he will play better. He got a little reckless, a little careless with the basketball. Some of the plays he tried to make, those are the plays we see in year 3, year 4 with the Cavaliers when he'd been playing with those guys for an extended period of time, or he'd been playing with the D-Wades and those guys in Miami for an extended period of time. I don't think you try and make those passes when you've only been playing with a team for a month. So he'll taper those down, but this could have been a really special because he got off to flying high, looking good.
It was. Cooking. Yep. For once, I am with my man, Chris Broussard, C+ for LeBron James. And I want to amplify on your pace stat by pointing out that the most points in the paint scored by any team all of last season in the National Basketball Association was 68 for a whole game. That was by New Orleans against the last year's Lakers. Last night, the Lakers scored 70 in the paint. That would have led the whole league for the whole season last year. And it's because of your pace stat, because they were getting a lot of break dunks and layups. Or a lot of cutters.
Yes.
I like the look of it. I like the feel. And I predicted before the year, this is going to be the most fun team to watch because of the pace. But can you sustain? I don't know, because they didn't sustain it. And remember, they're playing against one of the slowest teams in the league on pace.
Right.
So it's hard to keep pushing when the other team walks it back up the floor.
Right.
They won't run with you. They won't feed off your momentum. You know, they won't feed into it.
Won't play into your trap.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Some teams will say, okay, we got
They'll be
this. We'll
caught up.
show you.
Nuggets.
They
They'll be
will.
caught up.
And you're going to see some Lakers scores that are going to go in the 140s.
Absolutely.
It'll be 148 to 1.
We might see a 150 game, something we don't.
Yeah, because if they get hot, they will have nights where they're
Yeah.
hot from three.
Okay, so in the fourth quarter, we don't need to see him again, but he had the ill-advised alley-oop, and then he throws two behind the back passes to nobody.
Right.
But I'm going to give him a break on this one because I pointed out to him earlier, in his debut game with the Miami Heat, they lost, and he had 8 turnovers. Well, they're all new teammates, and you got to get used to this guy because he's the best passer in basketball, and he's going to try things that are slightly ill-advised by conventional standards, but in his mind's eye are not ill-advised because he's seeing something you're not seeing yet. And he did it twice last night. The one didn't really matter. With 20 seconds left, he just threw it down the baseline. I don't know what he thought, but there's nobody home on either of those behind-the-back passes.
Right.
Were they critical? The first 2 were critical, and to your point, 5 in the second half. But the point was, to me, the big reason for my C+ is with 8 minutes left in the game, Lonzo Ball did step into a 3, and he ripped it clean. So all of a sudden, you're down only 1. Well, I think the kids and the cast-offs put LeBron in the position like, okay, now it's your night. It's TNT. It's big stage. Take it over. Like that's where if he had enough gas left in the tank, he just says, okay, I got this. And maybe he starts playing point guard. Maybe he starts dribbling the ball up the floor and says, I got this, because he just takes over the basketball game.
He don't want to do that. He's going to have time. There's 82 games.
Right.
He's like when Magic first got in the league in the first game of the season, Kareem hit a sky hook to walk off for the win. Right. And Magic is going bonkers. And Kareem like, bro, you got 81 more of these things. Sell it down. But Skip,
okay, but it would have been a nice statement if he had just taken over the game. It would have made everybody feel pretty good about the Lakers.
Especially when you got Houston coming in tomorrow, Saturday night.
And
It's going to be a tough game.
They got embarrassed.
They go play.
Yeah,
You know what?
Come out with fire.
That's the team that will play up and down with you. That's the team that'll
I
go
agree.
up and that's the team that'll go up and down.
Here's the thing, and your points in the paint, that was a great stat. Usually when teams play fast, they shoot fast.
Right.
You rarely see NBA teams consistently getting layups and dunks in transition. They'll be running and shooting threes.
Okay.
Like Houston shoots
the new deal is push it to stop at the three-point line, right? To get wide open threes.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to do that because they don't. That's not what they do.
Right.
And you can get away. And I've talked. Look, San Antonio didn't shoot a lot of threes last year. Had a good year for what they had.
No, but they're pull-up threes. That's what they specialize in.
The pull-up,
the break.
But they don't shoot a lot of.
Nope, they don't.
Memphis back in the day with Zach Randolph and Arkansas was successful without a lot of threes. You can be somewhat successful, but you have to hit a decent number. Like they hit 7, which, and
after they missed their first 15.
Like there is a certain threshold that you do have to hit. They're going to have to hit some number.
Okay, but in the
fourth
fourth quarter last night, they went 4 for 11. That's okay. That'll work.
They can do that
if you can
type
keep
of
doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, remember, Skip, what was that? The last game of the season? The Houston Rockets. They missed their first 27. 3-pointers.
Right.
And then, you had to shot yourself. You had to given up so much ground. You could go hit your next 6. Doesn't matter. You hadn't given up so much ground. It's over.
They're not as bad as 0 for 15. Are they good? They're not a good 3-point. But we knew that going in.
They'll be what? Somewhere what? 20?
They'll be in the
23rd, 25th, maybe even lower.
LeBron I think he may be one of their best 3-point shooters.
I told him, of the players who played last night, LeBron's the best 3-point shooter. Mikhailuk can really shoot it. I know he's just a kid, but he shot 41% at Kansas. He shot the lights out in the Summer League, and he's 6'8", and he's fearless. They're going to have to play him some minutes to sort of get some contagious threes going, but he won't help you on defense at all. So you're going to have to put up with that. You're going to have to trade it off.
Their defense last night was terrible, too. Like,
do you think so?
I saw a stat where they gave up 27 uncontested baskets. There was 65 points from 27 uncontested. Yeah. So they're using their young legs to run, which is great.
Well, how
but you
about run
gotta
back
use
on
it to
defense?
exactly. You got to use those young legs to be scrappy defensively.
That's what I'm talking about. See, now Chris is discouraged too. He didn't like what he
Only
saw.
game
You're a
one,
little discouraged.
and only room for improvement from this point.
You will.
I was obviously they started well, and it was like, man, they're in Portland, 3rd seed in the West, playing them tough at home. I just was like, nobody can keep this pace up. Not in the NBA. It's almost like a full court press.
Well, I hope you're right.
You can't do that in the
Well, I
NBA.
hope you're right, because hopefully nobody can keep that streak up or shooting bad from the 3-point line. So hopefully they can't keep that pace up either.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Really.